Hello, Year 10. Welcome back. For the next 2 weeks or so, we're going to be talking about compound measures. Compound measures are measurements that have more than one measurement in them. Thus, the compound measures. So today we're going to be talking about speed, distance, and time, because speed is given by distance divided by time. So there we go. There's our compound measure. Next week we're going to be talking about density, which is also a compound measure. So if you've got an exercise book and you've been writing down the date and the title for today is speed, distance, time. It would also be a really great idea for you to draw this speed, distance, time triangle in your book. Now, unfortunately, you can't see where my hands are in this particular video, so if I try to show you how to use this speed, distance, time triangle, it's not going to be very helpful. But you know what? I'll try to talk you through it. And so this is our lovely speed, distance, time triangle, and it tells us lots of different things. As you can see in the orange writing, it tells us that speed is given by distance divided by time. Now, if you can't remember that, what you can actually do is you can take your hand and you can cover up the bottom left portion of the triangle that has the S in it, and then you'll hopefully see that you've got the letters D and T stacked on top of each other that tells you to divide them. Distance divided by time. In the green, you can see that it says time is distance over speed. And again, you can take your hand and you can cover up the bottom right of the triangle that has the T in it, and you'll hopefully see that you have the letters D and S stacked on top of each other, which tell us to divide distance and speed. And then similarly at the top, in blue, it says distance is equal to speed times by time. And if you take your hand and you cover the top portion of the triangle, the blue bit, you cover up the letter D, you can see that you've got S and T next to each other. And we've got two letters next to each other that tells us to multiply. So that is how the speed, distance, time triangle works. Most of you probably already know that. And yeah, let's move on. So the questions that we're going to look at today are going to be really straightforward. We're not really going to look at decimals. Tomorrow we're going to get more involved with the decimal calculations. I just need to make sure you can calculate speed, distance, and time. So first example, a car covers a distance of 160 miles in 4 hours. What is the average speed of the car? Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to underline some things that are important. A car covers a distance of 160 miles. So that is our measurement for distance. In 4 hours, that is time. What is the average speed? That is the speed they want us to find. So if I draw out my triangle, speed is distance over time. I want to find speed, so that's going to be distance divided by time. So let's fill that in. 160 divided by 4, which is 40. Now let's consider what are the units going to be. We've got miles on the top and hours on the bottom. So that is going to be miles per hour. There we go. That's the whole question done. That's really as fancy as I'm looking for it to get today. I just need to make sure you can do these questions. All right, example 2, still example 1 though. Jill works for Deliveroo. She travels at an average speed of 5 miles per hour due to congestion. How long will it take her to travel 25 miles and deliver all her orders? So let's take out the important information. So she travels at an average speed of 5 miles per hour. So that is our speed. How long will it take her to travel 25 miles? That is the distance. And then how long, that is actually the time. All right, so we draw our triangle. Speed, distance, time. We want to find time, so time is going to be equal to distance divided by speed. The distance is 25 and the speed is 5. 25 divided by 5 is 5. We're interested in time. The time here is in hours, so 5 hours. You can just write an H. You can write the whole word either way. There you go. All right, last example from me. If George cycles for 2 hours at 15 miles per hour, how far will he have traveled? So if George cycles for 2 hours, that's definitely the time. At 15 miles per hour, that is speed. How far? That is the distance. So again, I'd always say to draw the triangle to begin To begin with, speed is distance over time. We are looking to find distance. So distance is speed times by time, which is 15 times by 2. So George will George will have cycled for 30. Now we're looking for a distance. This M here tells me that it's going to be miles. Sometimes you do need to go back and look in the question to find out what your units are going to be. All right, there's 2 tasks for you to complete today. One is super straightforward, just doing these kinds of questions, and then the other one has a few more words to it, and the answers are slightly more complicated. All right, let me know if you have any questions.